work together to recover stolen art in A.R.T project. It stands for Art Rescue Team. Thank you for joining me here at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Now, A.R.T project is a cooperative game for 1 to 6 players that takes about 45 minutes to play. It's designed by Florian Serret, Benoit Turpin, and illustrated by my favorite artist in the board game industry, Vincent Dutray, and is published by the App. Now, they sent us this copy to review. The game comes with game boards, wooden pieces, cards, and tokens. Here's a super quick overview of the game. The game is divided into a series of rounds. Now, in a round, there's a mission phase, then a movement phase, then a fight phase, and then there's the end of the round phase. There are many ways to lose, but only one way to win. Collect and place all the art pieces on the track. Let me show you a little bit more in depth. At the beginning of the game, players will decide what map to play on. I'll talk about all the different maps a little bit later in the video. At the beginning of each round, there's the mission phase. Players will complete one mission. The mission card shows the cost, what evil agents to place out on the board, any benefits gained, and then you flip the card face down, which are clues to the art pieces. Once you get 3 of the same icon, you'll turn in those cards and place the art piece in the respective city. If there are no hands in the city, and one of the player pawns is in the city, then you automatically rescue that piece of art, and place the art on the track. Otherwise, keep the art in the city. After the mission phase comes the movement phase. You'll need to spend gas cans to move between the cities. And then comes the fight phase. Each player in a city gets to roll their die. If you've unlocked any ally dice, the leader of the group rolls those as well. You can unlock those during the game by spending walkie-talkies. You're trying to get a number equal to or higher than the strength of the evil agents. Their number is based on the number of evil agent hands in the city plus the far left number seen on the art piece track, plus any evil agent hands on the track too. Now you can use guns to increase your strength, which is pretty good. The other neat thing in the game is that players have the health tokens that they can use if they run out of certain resources. Now the golden rule in the game is spend a health token to replace any missing resource. If you've won and there's a piece of art in the city, then you immediately collect it, which does increase the agent strength, but lowers the number of walkie-talkies needed to get more ally dice. After the fight phase, you go to the end of the round phase and see if any city has 5 or more hands. If any of them do, then they become lost, and you can never go in or through them anymore. This really isn't going to help your game out. You lose the game if a player loses their last health token, the last round is over and you haven't collected all the art pieces, or there aren't enough agents or lost city markers in the stock. But you win if you've collected and placed all the art pieces needed on the track. And there are also 6 different game boards that make the gameplay different each time you play. Japan is the standard game as I've explained it. In Egypt, you'll be placing different numbers of agents on the cities and one art piece on the board at the beginning of the game. During the game, it takes fuel to move southward, but free movement on the Nile if going northward. Now, I find this interesting because you'll have to time out your route as you progress from round to round. In the US map, players keep their completed mission cards in front of them. You'll be able to exchange cards if your pawns are together in the same city. So this really changes the game up. Instead of having a communal completed mission pile, you have to be strategic in what missions you can or want to complete based on previous missions that you've completed. Also, another note is that players get a free gun token if they end their movement in Dallas, Texas. Scandinavia brings city effects. The green helps you get good stuff, and the red gives penalties. These activate when you recover an art piece in that city. In addition, there are also some routes that cost 2 fuel cans instead of 1. You can check out our full playthrough video that we did on our channel. We played the Scandinavia map for it. You don't place out any agent hands at the beginning of the game on the Polynesia Islands board, but you'll get plenty of them during the game. There are 2 islands for each art symbol. Basically, whenever you would place hands on an art symbol, you would have to place them on both matching symbols. This will mean a lot more hands are going on the board. And potentially a lot more lost cities too. Rio de Janeiro is the last map to look at. You have to collect the art pieces in a specific order. The red dots mean you can move for free between those cities. You have to place 2 agent hands in the middle city whenever you rescue an art piece on this board. And if a city becomes lost and you still had to rescue an art piece from that city, then you immediately lose that game. I think I probably wouldn't recommend this game unless it had those different maps. That is really what changes up the gameplay for me from game to game. The basic board's okay, but it becomes a lot more fun and intriguing with all the varied ways of playing. It's a cooperative game, so you need to like those types of games like Pandemic, Forbidden Island, or Castle Panic. And sometimes there's a tension between what people want to accomplish and what needs to be accomplished. You can definitely see that passion come out in our playthrough. What missions need to be completed? What benefits or penalties are going to happen based on those decisions? Sometimes a player has to wait for another player to get the resources needed to be even able to progress in the game without losing. So there's this delicate balance that you're working with. But the game is pretty easy to understand. Complete those missions to rescue enough art before you lose. One of the highlights for me in the game is the artwork. I wish there was more of it. I always love the illustrations from Vincent Dutrait, and he doesn't disappoint in this game. The wooden tokens are great. The fuel tokens, walkie-talkies, miniguns, and the hands. The one odd choice for me was that players are chess pieces. Not really sure why that is. Also, I wish the players had asymmetrical player powers. That would be really fun in a game like this. And one other nitpicky thing for me is that the acronym ART stands for Art Rescue Team. I don't like it when the first word in an acronym is the same word as the acronym. Maybe something like Artifact would have been better, not really sure. Like I said previously, the different maps are what makes the game better than average. I like the exploration on how that map will feel when playing. What challenges will we have to overcome, or are there going to be unexpected things that happen that we didn't see coming? I think the playtime overall is good enough, not too long, not too short, just right in about 45 minutes. Seems good for this type of game. So if you're looking for a co-op game about saving pieces of art, check out the A.R.T project from the op.